You start dreading your dog's walks, and then you feel guilty for even thinking that. Welcome to The Dog Who Asked for More, a podcast for dog parents navigating the messy, complicated parts of life with dogs that no one really prepares you for. Each week, you'll hear honest, rounded conversations that help you understand your dog more clearly, feel less alone in the challenges you're facing, and strengthen the relationship you're building together. I'm Em, a dog mom, former vet tech, dog trainer, and canine nutritionist who works with overwhelmed dog parents who love their dogs deeply but feel stuck, burned out, or unsure what their dog actually needs. And today we're talking about walks and how something that's supposed to help can quietly become the part of the day everyone enjoys the least. Because walks are supposed to be simple. You take your dog out, they get exercise, they come home tired. Well, that's the expectation. But for a lot of people, it doesn't feel like that. It feels tense. You're watching everything, scanning ahead, adjusting your path, hoping no one or nothing shows up in your way, because if something does, everything is going to shift in the wrong direction fast. Your dog locks in, pulls, reacts, and everything escalates. And suddenly, it's not a walk anymore. It's management. It's pressure. It's trying to hold everything together while pretending this is normal. And even on the good walks, you're still on edge because you're waiting for something to happen. So when you get back home, it's not relief because your dog is settled. It's relief because it's over. And that's a hard thing to admit out loud because this is supposed to be the part of life with your dog that you enjoy. So instead, you push through it. You go out later or earlier in the day. You tell yourself they need it. More exercise, more exposure, more chances to get used to it. And I see this a lot. People building their entire day around walks that don't actually feel good for anybody. People who are consistent, committed, and trying so hard to do the right thing and slowly starting to feel disconnected from their dog in the process. Because when something feels this hard every single day, it doesn't just stay about the walk. It starts to change how you feel about everything. I remember this with Fitz. Walks weren't and still aren't neutral sometimes. They are intense. Everything mattered to him, every sound, every movement, every shift in the environment. And I couldn't relax because he couldn't relax. And it didn't make sense because I was doing everything I was supposed to do to support him, and it wasn't making things better. If anything, it felt like it was keeping him in it. And it wasn't consistent either. Some walks felt manageable, and other walks felt like everything was just louder, faster, which made him more reactive, and I couldn't track it. I just kept showing up, hoping it would eventually settle. And then there's Toby. Some days he's all over the place, pulling, zigzagging, like a little kite in the wind. Other days, he'll just stop, lay down, and refuse to move. Same walk, different dogs, different leashes, and completely different responses. And that didn't make sense either. There was a point where I realized that this didn't feel like something that needed to be more of the same between them. And here's what I was getting wrong. I was treating every walk like it was helping, just because that's what it's supposed to do, instead of asking what it was actually doing to the dog in front of me. Because when you look at it, this isn't just exercise. This is exposure. And not every dog handles that the same way. For Fitz, it loaded him. For Toby, it depended entirely on the day. Capacity can change. Response can change. But I was treating it like a fixed need. And that's where things started to shift for us. This wasn't about doing more. This wasn't about trying harder. This was about recognizing that the experience itself wasn't neutral. Because when a walk keeps your dog activated, doing more of it doesn't create calm. This is how it might show up for you. Dogs that come home and can't relax. Dogs that pace. Dogs that feel more reactive after being outside. Dogs that should be tired but aren't. Dogs that sometimes handle it fine and other times completely don't. And that's the part that's so confusing because it's not predictable. So it feels like you're doing something wrong, but you're not. You're just working with a system that has limits that change. So the question shifts. Not, does my dog need more walks, but what is this actually doing to them? And what is it doing to us? If this part of your day feels difficult, you're not imagining that. And it doesn't mean that you don't love your dog. It might just mean that the version you've been told is necessary doesn't actually fit the dog in front of you. Here's the question I want to leave you with. If walks weren't the default, what would your dog actually need or want to do instead? If your dog's behavior sometimes feels like it comes out of nowhere and you find yourself trying to figure it out while you're already in it, the Dog Body Language Secrets Quiz can help you start spotting the subtle signals that show up before things escalate. When you can see those patterns earlier, it becomes a lot easier to support your dog in real time. You'll find the link in the episode description. So be kind, spread joy, and remember, not every daily habit is actually helping your dog feel better.